Hi, everyone. Good afternoon. I want to welcome you all to come sit and chat with Dr. Clay. I know you guys haven't heard from me in a while. I apologize for that. I have been pretty busy with life, but I decided to come back out specifically because some of my parents have asked, those that I work with, as well as those who are my colleagues, professional and otherwise, who have asked, Dr. Clay, can you please come on and have this discussion for about 30 minutes? Can you resume the come sit and chat with Dr. Clay so that we can have some questions answered? And I was like, okay, I'll find some time to be able to do that most definitely. So many of our parents during this time of crisis are going through all of these emotions. Some of us are extremely anxious, we're afraid. Hello, Donna. Hi, Ian. We are also confused and we're angry, and rightfully so. We have many reasons to be angry, and our anger and our feelings are extremely valid. So many parents were like, well, what am I supposed to do, Dr. Clay, if my kids start asking all these questions? Well, let me say this. You don't know everything, and we know that you don't know everything. But children deserve answers, and you need to make the answers as simple as possible and as age appropriate as possible. Please do not lie to your kids, because if you are lying to your children, they will find out. We all know that they will find out. Many of them are connected with their own friends. Many of them are on the internet finding out information on the news. And if you do not answer the questions truthfully, then they're going to have grounds to not trust you anymore. And during this time of this crisis of the coronavirus, they need to trust you. You need to make sure they trust you, because in trusting you, they are able to keep themselves safe as well as you're able to keep them safe. So some children may ask, well, gee, what's going on? How do I get this? How is everybody else getting this? Why do I have to stay indoors? So it's better for you to admit, okay, this is what I know. This is where I got the information from, son, or showing them pictures of it. I've sent out several things on Higher Potential for Learning's Facebook site where I show parents how to explain to their kids at the age that they're at about the coronavirus. So please make sure that you're being honest with them. While we're doing this entire session, which is only going to be 30 minutes long, I apologize, but I plan to do several of them in the next upcoming weeks. Since we're all at home anyway and we all have these questions, some of you may be afraid to ask them, to just give me a buzz and ask the question for the answers. You could come on in, chime in. If you have a question, please ask it while we're in this session. Don't have a problem to pause and answer your questions as they come. Okay? Hi, Sheena. Hi, Sharma. Rel. Hi. Oh, I'm loving this. I am so happy to see many of my parents, be it my family and friends, please being part of this session. Parents, as adults, we make mistakes. Please allow yourself to make mistakes. You're not perfect, and nobody expects you to be perfect. It's okay for you to tell your child or your spouse or your friend or yourself, I don't know how to deal with this. I don't know what to do at this moment in time. Can you please help me? So, what if your child asks, what did we do to make God angry? What did we do to make our God angry? Why is God doing this to me, mommy? Why is God doing this to us, daddy? What are you going to say to them? If you don't have the answer, don't make it up. Don't lie. If you need to ask your own spiritual leader of how to answer this question, please do so. For those of us who may not have a spiritual leader or may not feel the need to go to one, and you want to stay basically with the simple scientific answer, then do so. But answer the child truthfully. Help them to know that this is not a punishment. Help them to know that they have done nothing wrong to actually deserve this. Help them to understand that things happen in our world that we have no explanation for, and that that's okay. And once we get the explanation, they will find out just as well as you would find out. Please make sure, I can't stress enough, do not lie to our children. Be honest with them. Do not lie to yourself. Be honest. Find out the information. Yes, we know what the virus does. We know that the virus can get us sick. We know the symptoms of the virus. We know what to do to protect ourselves. Many of us are listening to what the world is saying. So, yes, thank you very much, Ian. So, for facts related to the coronavirus, Ian just shared something online with the BBC. So, we don't just trust what's on the internet. Please get the facts as best as you can. If you know anything that you would like to share with our public here, please post it as well. I would really appreciate it. So, also acknowledge your kids' fears. Don't say to them, "You have no reason to be afraid, honey. Mommy and daddy will take care of everything." No, their feelings are valid. They have every reason to be afraid. Some of our young kids are seeing things on the news, hearing things that you're saying with your other friends on the phone or even with your spouse. They're scared because they don't understand half the language that's being said. Some of us may use something as simple as, say, a feelings chart. Excuse my drawing. It sucks, I know. But this feelings chart, as you can see, is simple. There are more complicated ones that will get into more in-depth feelings that you're able to get offline on Pinterest or anything like that. And you're able to show your child. If you don't have the words, which of these do you feel? And each day, especially with your young children or our kids of special needs, where language is sometimes difficult for them, please allow them to vent their feelings in an appropriate way. Show them how to vent their feelings in an appropriate way. Remember, they are looking at you even when you think they're not. They're listening to you even when you think that they're not. Please be careful what you're saying around your children. If you have to go privately behind closed doors to speak with your partner to discuss what's going on in your home or between the two of you, the feelings that you're having, maybe why you're angry, how angry you are, and maybe you want to use choice words that children shouldn't hear, please be careful when and where you do so, because our kids are listening. And as far as they're concerned, they're interpreting it the way that their minds see it. And for some of our children, things that may be very small to us is huge to them. So please, I ask you to be very careful what you're saying around your children and to make sure that you are conscious that you're supposed to be modeling how they should be dealing with this whole situation. And if you're not able to deal with the stress and the way you're dealing with it is negative, then your child will also deal with it in a negative way because they're following you. Okay? The main thing that I need to say to you is, as parents who are not accustomed to parenting their children for the time of more than maybe 3 or 4 hours in the day, and sometimes on the weekends, you may actually parent them. I'll give you about 5 hours on the weekends that you may parent your child. Sadly, the reality of our world is our children are parented by their teachers. And that's where they spend most of their time. Some of us are privileged enough to be able to be part of that partnership where we go into schools and we do things with the teachers, with our kids in schools. But sadly, the majority of American families are both people are working. We all don't have that privilege or luxury to be able to do so. So we're at work. Our kids are at school, being parented for 8 hours of the day by someone else. That person is no longer there to assist you. And you are now with your child, those of you who are home with your children, you are with your children alone. Relax, calm down. The world is not coming to an end, I promise you. You can do this. You did it before. You do it when the kids are home. You've done it during summer vacation. You can do this. Take a deep breath. Check your anger. Check your frustration. You're going to have to find other ways to release those negative things without releasing them on your children. Even though sometimes, don't get me wrong now, I have a 15-year-old. Some of you are like me with teenagers. Some days we have to put ourselves in timeout because maybe they're too old to put in timeout. Walk away. Go take a deep breath, walk away, count to 10, count to 50, but check your anger. All jokes aside, when you are out of control with your anger, there are things that can happen and things that can be said that you are not able to take back. So you need to start thinking about for yourself. We need parents' time out. If you are with your spouse or your partner or a family member, you guys have to tag team in and out. You are going to have to make sure you take time to be with yourself. If that means you want to read a book, take a bath in the tub, close the door, put a cooking timer outside of the door and say, when this cooking timer buzzes off, then you can come knock on the door and mommy will be able to come back and hang out with you. Or when the cooking timer comes up, daddy and I are going to switch places and I'll be playing with you and daddy will be, hanging out by himself, reading a book or something. We need to recognize that we need times out as parents as well as children. You're going to have to be flexible during this time. Yes, you want to make sure kids have a routine. That is very important because they're accustomed to a routine during their school day. You need to make sure there's snack time, especially for our little people. You need to make sure there is playtime. Recess may not be the same. Hopefully, if you have a backyard, yes, take the time out, go play with your kids outside or allow them time outside in the backyard to vent or do whatever is necessary so that they're able to come to terms. Hello, Miss Amanda. How are you? Yes, Amanda. I am now Dr. Scott, but we're still saying Dr. Clay just for now. Make sure that you are truthful with your kids, again, about how you're going to protect them. What are some of the things that you're putting into play? If you want these things to become a routine for your child, make sure you show them. Every time I touch my face by mistake, or if I sneeze, if I don't sneeze into my elbow or sneeze into my hand, you show them, look at what mommy does. Mommy gets hand sanitizer. I know it's huge. Don't worry, I'm not a hoarder. I've had this forever because I work in education. Now I see that, thank God I did. It was hidden in the garage. So, because I can't find it on the shelves anymore. Put some hand sanitizer on. Good. Or every time before I eat, before I go anywhere, I make sure I wash my hands every single time. Make sure I prevent myself from touching my eyes or my nose. You show and model these things to your kids and they will start doing it. It will become routine for them and you can trust that they have that foundation. Show them this is how mom and dad are going to protect you. Mom and dad are also going to protect you by ensuring that if we're socially interacting with anyone, that we have a distance between us. These are things that are being told to us every single day. We have to follow some of these rules, if not all of them, ladies and gentlemen, because I don't know about you, but hello Trinidad, I want to be out of this house in the next 29 days. And right now, we're kind of stuck in here, but I know being in this house is necessary for us to protect. Yes. Could you recommend some age-appropriate books for my grandson? Reading books, if that's what you're asking me, Sharma, I will make sure at the end of this that I would send those out for you. I'll actually post it on Higher Potential for Learning on my Facebook account, and you can check that, and I will have a bunch of those up for you today. I have also put up and shared different websites. Amanda Marie is an educator at CCSD in Nevada, and she has shared several websites that I also reposted in Higher Potential, as well as under Kareen Clay, PhD. So please come onto the Facebook and double check. Ask questions, guys, because thank you, Sherma, for asking that. Many of us have so much resources. You're not by yourself. You will be able to do this because you're not alone. Even though at this moment you may feel like you are, you're not. I promise you, you're not alone. Also, make sure you answer, especially for those of us who have children who are very sick. Some of us have kids who have autoimmune diseases. Some of us have children who have asthma. And I know as parents we could become more overly protective of those children who are more susceptible to any kind of illness, not just the coronavirus. Please explain to the child what it is that you're doing, why you're doing these things. Otherwise, they're going to be resentful. Oh, you're stopping me from hanging out with my friends. Or you're stopping me from being outside. Why are you always treating me like a baby? Please recognize that these feelings that kids are having are extremely valid. You may not be able to understand them all the time, but that does not mean that it's not real to that child. So please recognize that as well. So some children may also have some separation anxiety. For those of us who are going to work, and I know some of us, especially in the health field, thank you to my brother and my sister-in-law who are nurses in upstate New York. Thank you for continuing to go to work. Thank you for continuing to support our community. And please protect yourself. Please be safe as well, because we love you and we want to make sure that you're still going to be with us as well. So please protect yourself as you well know how. Some children are going to be like, wow, mom and dad, you're leaving the house. What if you're not going to come back? Reassure them, no matter how many times. Hi. I miss you. Lois working now? Yes, I'm working now, Mr. Straw. Thank you. Make sure you're reassuring them what it is that you're doing when you're away. Tell them, mom and dad will wash our hands. We make sure we don't touch our face. We make sure we're wearing gloves if gloves are needed. We make sure we're wiping down our surfaces. Please be clear that you're protecting yourself when you're with them. You're protecting them when you're with them. And when you're away from them, you're also doing those same things. Okay? Here is a wonderful tip for you guys. Social connection can still happen. Social interaction can still happen for your kids. What about a play date? A visual play date? What about FaceTiming or having video time with your classmates, meaning the kids can have with their classmates? All of them have a smartphone. I promise you, all of them do. Thank you, Amanda. Here's a great book list recommendation by grade and age. Thank you. Sherma will be able to access this. Scholastic's book for kids, parent, and teacher resources. Thank you, Amanda. This is going to be wonderful. Okay, what about finicky eating grandkids at this time? Okay, the food part, most definitely, I know that's going to be a struggle. You need to make food look pretty for children and exciting for children. So you're going to have to start making faces, Mr. Straub. You're going to have to start pretending that broccoli with a little bit of cheese on it is doing something fabulous for you as you eat it. Good luck with that, because I have trouble eating broccoli, and I've pretended for a very long time with my daughter that I was eating it. Now she's caught on. So I don't have to use those things anymore because she eats it on her own. But I know the struggle is real when kids become finicky as well as they become bored. So you please connect with other parents and with other children via video chat. Have some play dates. Have them have some fun. I loved to play checkers. I don't know if kids this day and age like to play regular checkers, but I know they also like to play checkers and chess online, Scrabble online. This is something that they're able to do and engage with their friends. They're also able to chat while they're doing it. I have not seen my daughter play a video game in a very, very long time, and I'm talking like years. And yesterday, I knocked on her door and I walk in after school, because she does school online for Bishop Gorman. They're doing school online and they keep a strict schedule. So after school was over yesterday, she was on this building blocks game. Don't ask me what it is. Oh, roadblocks, I think it is. Something like that. But anyway, I was like, you're on a video game? She's like, yeah, I never played it before because I didn't have any friends who wanted to play it with me. Go figure. So even though she's not seeing her friends every day like she does at school, she talks to them on the phone, yes, but she gets to interact with them in this Roadblocks video game. There are other educational video games that we're able to use. I'm going to make sure I put some of those interactive websites up. Please, any other teacher friends and colleagues, any of the other psychologists in our communities, please share other things that parents are able to connect with and do, to be able to grab on and be like, oh my God, I could engage with this with my child. Not just only Roadblocks, or not just only, what are some of those really bad video games? The ones with all the shooting. We don't need to have them do all of those kinds of games. There are educational ones. My favorite interactive game to do with kids is Kahoot. It is fabulous. It's a great learning game, as well as you get to compete with your child on who knows what the most. So I ask you guys to continue asking questions to be able to get those things. Having a structure is extremely important, especially if you know that school is going to come back in. I know all of you are like, please, can it happen tomorrow? I know you do. But school is going to start again. It's not going to be canceled forever. Call of Duty. Oh, yeah, Call of Duty. That's the one. Thank you. That's the one I don't want you have your kids using at this moment in time. And please don't use screen time as a babysitter. I know it's the easiest thing to do, but if you're able to be with the child doing some of the screen time, it kind of takes away from them just becoming zombies in front of the video screen of the TV or the phone or just the gaming board. So I'm asking that, yes, we still keep a structure, but you need to be a little flexible. During this time, we can do school in so many different ways. You can cook with your kids. And this was an idea that was shared from one of my family members in Trinidad, actually. She said, Cindy, she said that, you know what? I am teaching my children how to do the laundry. I am teaching my kids, yes, bedtimes. Thank you, Mr. Straub. The routine with bedtimes. Keep it the same, exactly the same, so that you don't have to fight with them when school comes back in. So you have teaching them to cook new dishes. We have teaching them to do their laundry, teaching them to fold the clothes, teaching them to tidy their rooms. You have to show them, because guess what? Many kids will be like, I don't know how to do that. And many of them don't, because you didn't show them how. But we always expect them to just know what to do, just like that. It's not possible. You have to teach them first, because many of you had to learn to do certain things before you were able to do it well. And even sometimes when you learned how to do it, you still didn't do it well. Practice makes you better. Maybe not perfect, but better. So make sure you keep the structure up to a point. Allow children time to be kids. Allow them time to play. I just went in before I came on to Facebook today. I went in, knocked on my daughter's door because it was her break time, and I turned on some calypso music, because that's my favorite kind of music, from Trinidad and Tobago, where I'm from. And I turned on music and I was dancing with her. And I got her to dance with me. I wanted to show her. I got her to dance with me for a few minutes. Nicki Minaj or whatever music she likes. I kind of started playing some of it and dancing. She only maybe did it for 8 to 10 minutes with me, but that's okay. That was 8 to 10 minutes of interaction that we had together. And then she went back to work. If she was younger, we might have been able to do it a little bit longer, I'm sure. Kind of be silly together. Give your kids flexible time to be kids, to be silly, to just run around and do nonsense. Clean nonsense, go into the backyard. Dirty nonsense, you make sure you prepare your area so that they can do so. And afterwards, they can help you clean up. Please allow them to be children. Allow yourself some time to be a kid as well. Because I know this time is very stressful. I know it's difficult for all of us to come to terms with what seems to be a new normal. I cannot stress enough, take care of yourself. Take some time out. Make sure in the day, just like you structure lunch and school time for your kids, that you also structure time for you. to read a book, to meditate if that is something that you're able to do, to go online and exercise. I was on Instagram, which I don't do very much because I'm now learning these things now that I'm at home. But I was on Instagram, and Debbie Allen, and Amanda is the one who told me this. Debbie Allen was dancing, and you could take dance classes free with Debbie Allen. There's so many other resources out there that you guys are able to partake in. Please reach out, ask, utilize them. There's no reason that you guys should all be miserable inside the house together. This is a time for you to get to know yourself more, to get to know your children, reconnect with them. Because again, you're not with them all the time. They are with other people in school most of the time. They're not with you. There might be some things that your child is experiencing that you don't know about. This could be a good time for you to learn how to connect with that person, that new person, and for that child to learn that you're not always the bad guy. You're not always the person that's saying no, that sometimes you can actually be fun, and that we can be fun together as a family. I can't tell you the last time that we actually got to sit down as a family and eat dinner together because we're all so busy. The other day we did that. It almost brought tears to my eyes. We played Uno, we played dominoes, and we ate dinner together. That was phenomenal. I am taking this pause or this moment that this crisis has given me and looking at a positive side to it. It's going to come to an end and things will be back to what our normal was before. But isn't it going to be a good thing that even in this time of negativity and fear and some ridiculous behavior behind toilet paper that I'm still trying to figure out, but that there are going to be at least some good things that come out of it. I'm asking you all to please take the time to still keep your structure, but take the time to play. Take the time to get to know your family and reconnect with them, as well as reconnecting with yourself. If you need or have any questions, please, I welcome them. Ask, send me on Messenger, text me if you have my phone number, and I will completely answer them. Come on to Higher Potential for Learning, the website for my business. In Trinidad and Tobago, we have conversations with Dr. Clay. Please come into those groups, ask questions. We will share whatever resources we have to be able to assist you. And for next week, I'm going to try to do 2 sessions. I would like you guys to send me some suggestions of things that you would like me to focus on. One person has already sent me on helping parents to be able to bridge the gap of being a parent as well as a teacher. Many of you do not homeschool or have not homeschooled your kids, but there are many individuals who actually do that. So to them, this is normal because they have their kids all the time. To some of us who do not, it's not normal. And before you get cranky and upset and angry, we would give you some tools to be able to cope with this period and help your children still learn, even though learning doesn't always have to be in a textbook. There's so many different things you could teach your kids. Social skills that they may be lacking that you need to teach them. But as always, I ask you to please be safe, protect yourself, stay indoors and protect your family and protect others for the time period that we have to be indoors. You're not alone. You can still socially interact without being in the same room with someone. As we know, technology today has made that possible, as we are doing now. Thank you again for sharing this 30 minutes with me, your learning time. I appreciate it, and I look forward to speaking with you guys again next week with Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. I will post what the next different sessions will be about and what the topics will be about. If you would like me to do something special, I have no issues with doing so. Please send me a quick text or a messenger, and I will put that within the queue. please recognize I am open to all ideas and new things to raise awareness so people can see that they're able to still be part of the rest of the world without being in it physically at this moment in time. I cannot stress enough that we follow the directions that have been asked and we keep healthy. If you're already healthy, great. That is a wonderful blessing. And if you're not, take care of yourself. Take your vitamins, drink all of your juice, healthy stuff that you're supposed to do, and be safe, please. And be kind. Oh my God, that's my last thing. Be kind. I've gone to the grocery store and people are not being kind to each other. Be kind, because karma is no joke. I'll talk to you guys later. I'll see you again on Come Sit and Chat with Dr. Clay. Thank you again and see you next week. Bye.